For my second manipulative video for Numeracy 377 class, I will be using counters. So we have the purple, the green, the red, and the blue counters here. And they give a great visual for young students in grades 2 to 4 to model the basic principles of addition and subtraction, which will be the focus of this demonstration. For addition, counters can be used to model both the joining and the part-whole meanings of addition. So for joining, it's an active action where you can start with 3 things and get 2 things more. And this would probably most likely go along with a numeracy story or number story. For part-whole meaning, that means it's a static situation. So they have to figure out how much they have if we have 5 of one and 3 of another. So the story might say that, I have 5 items, 5 are blue. Sorry, I have 8 items, 5 are blue. How many are red? And for subtraction, counters can be used to model takeaway, comparison, missing addend, and part-whole meanings. So for taking away, that's an active and separating. We have 4 items. So I have 4 green here. And my brother takes away 2. How many do I have left? For comparing, it's a static. So you can have 9 of one color. There. And then you can ask how much more is that than 6? So they can count to take away 6 and then see how many are left. In relation to the principles of addition and subtraction, we can use counters to show principles 2 and 3. Principle 2 is where you can add numbers in any order. This is called the commutative property. For example, you can show a group of 3 counters. So I got some purple counters here. And you can show a group of 4 counters. I'll use red. And the student can add these up to make 7. And as a teacher, what you can do is you can switch the paper around 180 degrees. And you can ask the student to add them up again. And it doesn't matter what order you add it up, which is called the commutative property. It'll always stay the same. However, with subtraction, the order in which you subtract does matter. For instance, if this is 5 and 3, you can do 5 minus 3. However, if you switch it around and do 3 minus 5, that does not work. However, they do learn this strategy later using integers, later in high school and later in elementary school. Principle 3 says that to add 3 numbers, you can add the first 2 and then the last one, or the last 2 and the first one to that sum. This is the associative property. So I'll have 3 here, and 2, and 4. And it doesn't matter if you add the 3 and the 2 first, and then the 4, or you switch it around and add the 4 and the 2 first, and then the 3. It'll always be the same. Lastly, counters are also great for visualizing number stories, which I will demonstrate. So for instance, I have 7 pennies. We'll just use counters to visualize them as pennies. And 2 nickels. We'll use the red ones here. How many more pennies than nickels do I have? So this is a comparison situation. So you could, what would be easiest for students to do is to just line these up here, the top, and then compare them with each other and see which ones until where they line up, and then look at how many are left over that are not matching up with the opposite color. So what they would do is 7 minus 2, which leaves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left over. As demonstrated, counters come in a variety of colors, which allows the student to differentiate between the numbers they are adding with or they are working with, so as to not have the student become confused. Again, counters are a great visual and manipulative for students learning addition or subtraction through the commutative and the associative property.